Okay, let's go ahead and get started. My phone's about to die, but I don't even need that. So anyways, I kind of wanted to start to do first 5 minutes of kind of any successes going on. I know it's a new month, so it's one of those, oh, we just lost someone. But anybody have any kind of little personal successes, anything with their challengers, anything like that going on? Because otherwise I have one for a challenger also. But I'll let someone else go first.
I just literally found out like a second ago, a challenger of mine who's just doing the 21-day fix, and I really was feeling like she was maybe gonna fall off because she knows the Shakeology is kind of the requirement. She just said she ordered herself the Shakeology sampler, so I'm like, yay, it's a step. So that's really cool.
That's awesome that she's open to try it for sure. I love that. Cool. Okay, who else got this little success? Okay, I was going to share my family had a wedding Saturday night, but they didn't have like the cousins invited. It was just the aunts. And my mom saw, because you guys know, like my mom is like my biggest motivator, but my mom saw my aunt, who I'm sure likes everything you all put out there. Her name is Diane. She likes everything. She's your all's biggest supporters. But anyways, she was like, Diane couldn't keep her clothes on at the wedding. Her pants were falling down. She goes, she had to walk back from communion holding up her pants. And she was just talking, and my mom and dad went on like a little like Gulf Shores vacation this week, just the two of them. I think it's kind of sweet. But anyways, my mom was like, I'm going to really try to do really well. And she's not buying a Mother of the Bride dress until next spring because she is like determined. And I was like, it makes me so excited because, and I think that was like a little push to see someone else that she can relate to also see some success. So I'm very excited about that. That's like, it makes me so excited.
You've been waiting for Mama to come on board for a long time. So.
I've been waiting for Mom to come on board since I started.
On that note, my mom's in my health bet group.
Yay! That's cool.
My mom's not really a rule follower, or like if I have to do more than a couple steps, it's not going to happen. But when I was there a couple weeks ago, I was like, Mom, you should join my health bet. I was like, you do your Shako every day and you work out regularly. I'm like, you could win some money. And she's like, what do I got to do? So I just got out my app, showed her. I was like, this is all you have to do.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
She's in it, so we'll see.
Very cool.
But she's already lost a lot of weight getting ready for my sister's wedding next weekend. So
that's exciting.
Okay, anybody else have a little success?
I have one. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go for it, Courtney.
Okay. So one of my challengers, Andrea Stegman. So my mom is a teacher at Callaway Hills. I don't know if you knew that. So they started the healthy, I can't think of what it's called right now, healthy communities or something at their school. It's through Jeff City Public School. And I guess if you buy the healthy snack for the month, and the healthy snack for September is watermelon, I guess if you buy it and give your receipt to the principal, then you get a prize. So the whole elementary is doing it. And my challenger said she started it at her school because of the group. So thought that was cool.
That's awesome. So you have a little coach then, it sounds like.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's cool. Awesome. Okay, anybody else want to share a celebration?
I'll share one, Megan.
Go for it.
Okay, so last week, I think it was on Thursday, first day of the month, I signed on a new coach, so I was very excited. And she's actually on this Zoom call tonight. Her name is Megan. So Megan Wilde, welcome to our group, and I'm glad you could join this call with us tonight.
Yay! Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Yay! Congrats, Megan. Have you done a challenge group with Courtney, or just now started?
I'm in the challenge group with Courtney currently, and I'm really excited. I'm not doing the best that I probably could be. I just had a baby in June, so it's like we're adjusting to the life of a newborn and a toddler. So, but I do try to push play every day and at least get some type of workout in. It may not be the best, but it's definitely it's a work in progress. But I'm excited to get in there and see what I can do. So.
Megan's a rock star. She's doing awesome.
Yeah, good job. That's so cool. Well, I might send Courtney a name of one of my girlfriends who's in my group right now. She had one like the very beginning of July. So I feel like
yeah, that would be great.
That you can relate to,
Yeah.
that you're trying to do the same thing. That helps a lot.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started because I want to make sure that we keep close to time and all that stuff. So if you guys have questions, like definitely be writing them down, ask them at the end. These could be questions for me or for Courtney. So how we're going to try to create this call is we are going to, I'm going to kind of bounce back and forth. So I have some things to share about coaching and getting a new coach started. And then Courtney has some things of what she did her first 3 months to see the success that she has seen. So I got to brag on her a little bit. A huge reason why, yeah, you can put your head out if you don't want to hear it. But anyways, a huge reason why I wanted her to do this group is she has seen like crazy amount of success in just 3 months. So you've only been a coach for 3 months, right? Okay, so she signed up on like the last day of May, which doesn't even count, which was like kind of sucked.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about beach body,
so she signed up like the last day in May, and so she just in the end of August hit her 3-month mark. So she's hit Success Club all 3 months, and so that means that she got a Success Starter. And I know that Elena also got Success Starter. And so basically what that means is if you hit Success Club your first 3, my Riley is pushing on my feet. So if you hit Success Club first 3 months as a coach, you get that Success Starter, which is hard, you guys. I did not do it in my own business. So do not think that it's like, oh, well, you're not going to be successful if you don't get Success Starter. Like, I did not do that. That's a really cool thing. But on top of that, she's hit Success Club 10 or higher every month, which is even like mind blown for sure. And I think it was this last month in August, right? Mm-hmm. When you hit your Emerald rank. So hit Emerald in her 3rd month as a coach. And those things are just like, they're really cool. But every time that I have talked to her, she's always been like, well, my next goal is this. Well, my next goal is this. And you know, it was like, well, I want to hit Success Club 5 in my 1st month. And I was like, okay. And she like does it. And she's like, I changed that. I'm going to do 10. So like, she is the type of person that will, like, is very goal oriented, push herself like way beyond, I think. But it's kind of a cool thing because I admire people like that, and I think that we can all learn from someone like that. So anyway, this is Courtney. Yay. Okay, so I wanted to kind of get started with we have little notes here, by the way, to keep us on track. Otherwise, we'll get off on a tangent. So I kind of wanted to talk about like how I got her started. So she kind of started in one of my challenge groups. I'm trying to figure out how we even hooked up. Do you remember how we?
You're friends with Ashton. I work with Ashton, so we kind of knew each other. Started filming Meg Moves.
I remember like seeing you because I had like offered like free meal plans. Do you remember that at all? Yes. Okay, so I had offered a free meal plan that I would send out this week's worth of meals. And I sent them out through email. I was like trying to get into like some emailing and stuff like that. And we like started talking back and forth on there. I think it was. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and so I was like, that girl's mine.
I think I shared some meal plans to you and you're like, oh, okay. Awesome. We're like bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, so and then joined challenge group in May.
Yep.
Joined challenge group in May, and she was like all about it. And I was like, that girl is my type of coach because she had goals and she went and she hit them and she didn't have like tons of excuses. So I was like, okay, we can do this. So
Megan also gave me like 3 packs of Shakeology samples last summer, I think.
It was a long time ago.
She came in and I saw her. She's friends with one of my good friends. And I was like, I'm trying these Shakeology samples. And I was like, just kidding, they're too expensive. I'm not doing these. And I never got back with Megan.
Yeah, so she blew me off for like, I don't know, a year.
Yeah.
Probably a year. So never give up on people. Number one.
They may still come back to you.
Exactly. So anyways, I wanted to start with like kind of getting started and kind of what we did to kind of get started right. So I don't even know if I sent anything to you. We ended up like working out together, and then she's like, oh, and by the way, I have some questions. And I was like, oh, okay, you can stick around and ask some questions. So I wanted you to talk
5 hours later.
Yeah. What were some of the like key things that like a new coach, that you as a new coach wanted to hear or wanted to know more about, I guess?
So I'll kind of start off by saying when I became a Beachbody coach, like I said, I would join one of Megan's groups. And one thing that caught my eye is just like the motivating women. And I'm a very motivating person. I had a group at work, and I just got caught up in motivating people. So I loved it. So I was like, I want to become a Beachbody coach. I want to do what Megan does. And so like, I'm not even kidding. I signed up to become a Beachbody coach, and I had no clue what that was about or what it meant. And I was telling her just one night out of the blue, it was probably like 11:30 laying in bed. I like started Googling, and I was like, oh, so how does a Beachbody coach make money? Like I had no clue like that there was like ranks of coaches. I had no clue that you made 25% of commission off of anything. I really didn't know anything about it. So I just like was Googling and had these random questions. And so I was like, okay, I'm meeting up with Megan. Like, I think I can kind of make a business out of this, and sticking with what I love, motivating women and trying to put it all together. So I went to Megan and was just like, okay, first of all, you can make money doing this. So kind of explain that to me. So we went over like challenge packs, the points you get with coaching, different ranks of coaching, how do you advance? And that really caught my eye because I'm a huge like goal setter. I love writing down goals and then making sure I get to those. So we kind of went over like, this is how you get to Emerald. This is how you get to Diamond. And then just kind of went over the basics of everything. We went over the coach online office. I hadn't even probably gotten it yet. And, I'm probably getting
it was kind of fun because whenever I talked to her about coach online office, like I feel like sometimes that can be very like overwhelming. And I was like, well, what did you take from that? And like, we basically like figured out like a new coach, all they need to see is like the front screen of like, what in the world is like the volume and the success club points and the fact that you have like PV and like kind of just that first screen, but then the my business. And I even asked her, I was like, so I know I showed you like news and training. I was like, did you go into the news and training? She's like, mm-mm.
I don't know. Did we touch on that much?
I know I showed it to you. So one thing that like I definitely take away from her is she's very much a like action over information kind of person. Because I'm very much, I can get into, I need to learn everything before I even act. And she's like, I'm going to act and then figure it out if I mess up along the way. Yeah. And I think that that's a huge takeaway from this business is the fact that sometimes we just have to act without knowing all the answers.
Yeah. I can't say I necessarily knew how to have correct conversations with people when I started to. I showed Megan some of my messages and she's like, oh girl, word vomit, word vomit, word vomit. But I mean, I just threw myself out there. And kind of went with it. Yeah. And learned from mistakes. So,
yeah. And I think one thing that, and you've probably heard me do this, anytime that someone's like, I'm struggling with these conversations, I always ask for like a screenshot of the conversation that you're having. And every time that Courtney sent me a screenshot, first of all, it was like that long of a conversation, you guys. Like every single time was like word vomit on top of word vomit. And I was like, Courtney, first of all, you're throwing everything at them at once. You need to calm it down. But every time I would give her suggestions, she would change it. Yeah. So I know like her conversations changed over time. So don't be afraid to send conversations and ask for feedback and then implement that feedback, because I know some of you all are teachers and there's nothing more frustrating than giving feedback, especially on writing or feedback on a math problem or feedback and them just not change it. And so that's a huge sign that you're not coachable. So one thing that my coach has done is she's very good at repeating herself. And she's always been like, you need to do video. you need to do more videos. You need to do videos. And I was listening to a call once, and I don't remember who it was, but she was like, if you keep hearing the same thing and your coach telling you the same thing over and over again, you're not taking in that advice and you're not being coachable. And one thing we have to be is always kind of coachable and changing and stuff. So that's one thing I know, that anytime I've been like, okay, well, how are your conversations going? She'll send me a screenshot and I'm like, ooh, well, we need to change this.
There was a few good ones. There was
a couple of good ones, yeah. I was like, you need to stop the conversation here and ask a question.
Yeah. So I did learn from that, always ending everything with a question so people feel more apt to get back with you. So that was a big takeaway.
Yeah. Okay. So is there anything else in there?
I think that's pretty good. Yep.
So those are kind of the big things that we hit, was showing Coach Online Office, kind of talking about how to hit Success Club, what that means,
The different points, what they stand for.
Yeah, and then income, and then kind of conversations, but not really. You kind of jumped into conversations without us having that conversation.
Yeah.
But it quickly came.
Yes. Yes.
So we kind of took the rest of her 3 months progression of how things came to be. And I was kind of interested because whenever I was looking at everything that she's done each month and kind of what were the highlights of the month, it was one very, very simple. Like everything she did was very to the point and very simple. Okay, so you want to share what you did in the first month to kind of get started?
So the first month, basically getting started day one, I shared my story on my like page. I was all gun ho. I'm a Beachbody coach. I want to make a like page, which I don't think you necessarily need to do, but that's what I did. So I kind of shared my story on there. I always feel like I don't have much of a story. So pictures speak louder than words. I shared my progress pictures, and that really got a lot of people's attention. I'm pretty sure I shared this to post at 6:30 in the morning. I remember it was a Wednesday, and I was like, I'm going to get my workout in this morning. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, and I was like, I'm going to get my workout in this morning. So I woke up at 6, ready to post my stuff. Started my workout at 6:30, and as soon as I shared my post, everybody was starting to message me oh my gosh, I just saw your results from 21 Day Fix. I don't know what you're doing, but I want to do it. So, people maybe didn't even know I was doing Beachbody, but they had seen pictures, and that's what drew their attention. So my progress pictures was definitely a big success for me. Then so I basically had people coming to me through that. So my first month, I never had to, I was telling Megan, I guess I reached Success Club 5, and then Success Club 10, she's like, girl, what are you doing? You have to tell me what are you doing with this? Because you'd seen my conversations. So that was scary. And I was like, well, honestly, at this point, I just have people coming to me right now, which is awesome. I know it's going to change after that, but I'm taking this in. One thing I think that I just feel like I know a lot of people, and I'm very straightforward and out there. And I think that people just admire somebody that they can trust, someone that they're not scared to share their story with, or their goals, or something they've been struggling with. So I think being that person for them was really a big thing for month one.
Yeah. So I think my biggest takeaway from that is just right off the bat, a new coach has got to see results. Looking at Courtney, she doesn't have a lot of weight to lose. She doesn't have a huge transformation. She's not losing 28 pounds in 28 days or whatever it might be. She changed up her stomach, I think would probably be the most difference that she saw. And it showed in her pictures. And that was enough to get people to be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What's going on there? And so I think these are awesome products. And if we use them, you will have people drawn to you. And I think that's a huge, awesome takeaway for if you haven't gotten a lot of people being like, what are you doing yet? Maybe we need to dial in our nutrition and dial up our workouts and make sure that we're